Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Okay, you guys, we'll see how this goes today. We're here to manifest more spirituality. How the hell do you do that? That's not exactly what I mean. I just mean like it's not my throat, but I just keep on having to cough every once in a while. It's like not my lungs either. It's not my lungs either. It's where your throat and your lungs meet in the ether. I have a little tickle in my ether. So I read the Daniel Scranton channeling this morning, and I had to go back and edit the audio 3 times because I just needed to clear my throat. So we'll see how it goes. But what do I want to say? Oh yeah, this morning Daniel Scranton was about the angelic realm, and that makes me interested in life a little bit more because, with this podcast I've been doing a few special episodes with the angelic herbs. Like I felt like I needed to hang out with the archangels this year a little bit more. And the channeling message today was that the angelic forces are upping their game and showering us with more compassion and whatever energy that we need so that we can make it to the winter solstice and the end of the year. So anyways, how's it going? We're going to manifest more spirituality today. And I just always find my own synchronicities interesting. Yesterday we did a tarot spread for the month of November. Apparently it's going to be a doozy. Right? And we probably need a little extra boost from the angelic realm and everything and anyone and anything that wants to help. So yesterday we talked about what we could be putting in our bodies for a physical boost. I have my leftover, which I will finish today, some brew that I made with ginger, elderberries, turmeric, because those were some of the herbs that showed up yesterday. I'm taking the advice to rest. I only read 1 chapter of the Course in Miracles today because I knew that I could read it pretty chill. I don't have to be super animated to narrate that. Actually, it's better if I'm not, because if I get too excited, that's when I start screwing up words. So I did that, and it was talking about love today and the illusion of love and special relationships, and it's just interesting how it all falls under, for me, spirituality. So I'm not really sure how you manifest more spirituality because you are spirit, you are spiritual. And as I'm looking through my deck, I was like every single one of my oracle decks is in the name of spirituality, right? And I was like, am I even going to find anything that says spirituality on it? I only have 2 cards that actually say spirituality. Other cards that I pull in have spiritual topics or say spiritual and then another word, or one will end with spirit. But I got quite a collection of cards today, so I think we'll learn something, as we always do. It's safe for me to think that we'll learn something because we always do. But something that just popped into my head that I've recently read in A Course in Miracles, learning is only necessary. It's only necessary while we're here. But once we get back to God, learning is not necessary because then we will be embraced in complete knowledge. So learning is only a means for us on our spiritual quest, on our spiritual journey, and that's why we come together 5 days a week here at Ho, to be spiritual-ish, right? We try to go easy at it because I think we all like I know I do, I have to understand that like my little human, she can only handle so much. Like more and more. I can handle more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Apparently I could probably handle a lot if I do this all the time. But even I have my own limits, you know. Um, and then you just realize that like everything's spiritual and everything adds to your spirituality. And what does that even mean? What does that even mean? So I guess that's where we're going to open ourselves up to conversation, contemplation, and ideas today. What does spirituality mean? How can you manifest more of it? I would just probably answer that so simply by putting forth your intentions. Like, I intend to live a more spiritual life. I intend to be more conscious, be more connected, be more aware, be more loving, be more in tune. What does it mean to you? I really feel like spirituality can mean whatever the fuck you want it to mean to you. It could mean different things to different people. It's like really broad and vague and all encompassing, and as it should be. So anyways, I'm not sure how many cards I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do I really have 11 cards here? That's perfect. Because 11 to me is such a master number, such a spiritual number. A lot of people, whenever they start waking up, they'll start seeing all the damn time 11:11 on the clock. 11:11, 11:11. They'll check out at the grocery store. $11.11. Oh my God, are you kidding me? 11:11, and your checkout clerk is like, fucking loon. What is this crazy? Why is this crazy bitch so excited? Her total is $11.11. But when you've already seen it 100 times this month, and it's like waking you up to like look at me. You start waking up to the power of numbers and the teaching ability of numbers and the communicative ability of numbers. So yeah, numbers I would say are part of my spirituality big time. I don't know why, but they just are. We have a card that I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it in, but then I was like, oh yeah, I got to put that in. It's Melchizedek with the spiritual law of attraction. This podcast, Herb Oracle, around episode 25, and then for like 100 and whatever podcasts after that, we studied each law of the universe that I could get my hands on, which I think there was 105 of them. So understanding the spiritual laws could be part of your spirituality. There's a card here called Universal Spirituality. There's a card here, 3 cards from the galactic deck that I have. Spiritual sovereignty, spiritual technology, spiritual commitment. We've got on the table spiritual practice, spiritual connection, like with other people, which I debated about that one too, but then I was like, no, you got to, because some of us I feel like we're supposed to meet and hang out. And do you think this is the only lifetime we've hung out in? Girl, dude, anything in between, don't matter to me. Do you think this is the first time that you and I have connected? Don't be silly. We've probably traveled the universes together. We've got spiritual quest. And yeah, I think that's all the cards. I think that's all 11. So we're going to hang out with Ganesha today. We're going to hang out with the Vegas, the Essasanis. We're going to hang out with Melchizedek. We're going to hang out with the dragon butterfly. And we're going to hang out with Spirit as we manifest more spirituality. Whew. But first, let's do a quick minute affirmation shout out to our herb of the week, Raspberry, who really did a good job Monday encouraging us to create space for that which we want. So if you want a more spiritual existence, a more spiritual commitment, and that's kind of funny because like even if you say I'm not spiritual, Bitch, you are fucking spirit. There's no way around it. Like, either you're acknowledging your spirituality or you're not, but it's still there, right? It's like, honey, you are spirit. I'm not spiritual. The fuck you ain't. Even in my nastiest version of self, I'm still spiritual. So anyways, Raspberry wants us to nourish ourselves and be more fruitful and more spiritual and hold sacred space. So if you want to manifest more spirituality, then simply hold and create the space for it. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our fantastically fertile herb of the week, raspberry. And I dedicate them all to you. I delight in the sweetness of life. I am strong. I am building a beautiful legacy with my community. I enjoy companionship and collaboration. I nourish my body. I intend to manifest more fruitfulness. I hold sacred space. I delight in the sweetness of life. I am strong. I am building a beautiful legacy with my community. I enjoy companionship and collaboration. I nourish my body. I intend to manifest more fruitfulness. I hold sacred space. And so it is. It's kind of fun sometimes in our silliness and in our repulsiveness to be like, and I'm a spiritual being. So as I was listening to his affirmations and I heard the last fruitfulness, I totally whistled through my teeth. Even when I whistle through my teeth, I am a spiritual being. Even when I'm sitting on the toilet pooping, I'm a spiritual being. All right, so anyways, spirituality. So yeah, I guess like we're gonna like go in a lot of different aspects as we try to even talk about or define what spirituality is, right? So it's like everything that I do, I feel like adds to my spirituality, but then it's like when you're asked to define it, like, well, what is spirituality? You're like, me? I don't know. So anyways, I feel like with all of these cards, we're going to have plenty of words to maybe give us the vocabulary if we wanted to define spirituality. I'll have to take breaks every 10 minutes to drink some of my marshmallow root water. Yeah, everything just feels dry. And I've already drank like 2 quarts of liquid. So I'm like, dang, how much can I drink in a day? But anyways, we'll start off with Spirit Awakens. Okay, this is the Conscious Spirit Oracle deck by Kim Dreyer. And there's an angel that's holding Earth, and she is looking up. She is looking up maybe to source energy, to light. And on the card, it says, I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. So I embrace my soul purpose, whatever the fuck that may be, and align all aspects of my life to it fully. Now, I literally do this. I do this because every day I try to tune in to where my higher self is guiding me. My spirit is guiding me, what I'm called to do for the highest good of the all, for my soul purpose. I try to listen to my passion and my guidance system and my intuition, and every day to the best of my ability, I do it. and I try to align all aspects of my life to it fully. So there was a time where I was like, okay, I embrace my soul purpose. Is this it though? Like, is this all you want me to do? Because like I feel like I could step up more. But the thing is, it's like, just do whatever you're called to do. Don't let your ego be like, that's it, that's all you're gonna, that's it. Hey, if that's all that you're being asked to do, then just do that, and until you get further orders, or until you get a further calling, or a further knowing that you need to do something else. So yeah, I live a very simple life, but that's my sole purpose right now. I don't know, man. You just kind of have to go with it. So I thought we'd start off with this card because it says Spirit Awakens. We are often so caught up in the physical and mental aspects of life that we neglect our spirits and our souls. This card is a reminder to you that the spirit aspect of self is one that endures life after life and must be acknowledged and nurtured on the physical plane. So perhaps manifest more spirituality. The first step could be acknowledging that you have a spirit aspect, your eternal aspect. This ego personality is the mortal. Your soul is the eternal, immortal aspect of you, the one that endures, that goes on. So that to me always is like, hello, wouldn't you want to get to know that part of you? That's the part of you that's eternal. Not like what you prefer looking on Pinterest, right? Like maybe in some aspect, but it's like when we meditate and we go into that beingness, that's our spirit, that's our soul, that's our eternalness. We need to nurture that. So that is why, that would answer the question why we want to manifest more spirituality. Perhaps you place too much emphasis on your physical body or your mind. And we all do. Even me this week being like, oh my God, like, do I have coronavirus? Because like I kind of can't breathe, but like I can breathe, but am I just anxious? Because yesterday was election day and I literally could feel the entire world's anxiety. And I'm like, today I need to take it easy apparently. Yes, I can breathe, but there is like a heaviness there, a dryness, a tickle that concerns me. And then I have to check myself. Well, that means you're being overly identified with your body, right? You're placing too much emphasis on your physical body and maybe even your mind. So, by awakening the spirit within, you're able to become aligned to your soul purpose and can find peace and meaning to life. Beware of allowing others to determine your spiritual path. It is a very personal journey, and you must find your own. Do not allow others to force their beliefs or religions on you. Spirituality does not need to be linked to a specific religion or dogma. Spirituality is an inner knowing, a feeling of connectedness, of love and joy, of being one with the divine source. So yeah, you got to watch out that like nobody pushes their idea of what spirituality is upon you. You need to discover that and awaken that to yourself, because it truly can and does look different to each individual. I would say even like people within a certain collective, like say like the collective of a certain religion, or the collective of A Course in Miracles, or the collective of whatever, how people, group themselves. Even within that, you can be sure that each individual of that collective is still having their own experience and may define spirituality a tad bit different. Trust me. I am sure of it, because every time I try to come together with a group of people that I think I might have some topics that we are congruent and agree with, it's like the first time that when I was on Facebook and I've done the Course in Miracles lessons, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll join one of these Facebook groups. I was almost appalled at some people's perspective about it. And here I'm having a beautiful experience with the Course in Miracles, and clearly I'm just not on the same page, or clearly some of these people need to reread the book. So anyways, it's sort of hard, for some people to be like, well, I don't fit in anywhere. That's fine. You don't need to fit in anywhere. You can be the solitary witch, honey, and do your own thing, and you don't need to fall into any religion, spiritual whateverness, or group, nothing like that. You literally can make it your own. Now, this goes on to say, by bringing together your lower chakras and higher chakras and merging them within your heart chakra, you are able to lovingly connect to spirit and all spiritual wisdom that will serve your soul purpose, while at the same time keeping you grounded firmly to Mother Earth. Follow your own unique spiritual journey and become the magnificent being you are meant to be. So yeah, I think everybody should align their chakras, whether they do it consciously or, just get into that higher vibrational state where it happens, even if they don't know what the fuck a chakra is. I do feel like it's within our heart space and the coming together of our earthly and ourselves and connecting with our spiritual selves. And where do we do that? In the heart space. That's where we are truly serving our true purpose, I think, of being a conduit between heaven and earth. Bringing spirit into the physical and using our physicalness to connect with spirit. So in the higher heart is where you would do that. And then from that place, you would be guided to all the spiritual wisdom that will serve your soul purpose, and feel grounded and connected, and you're not going to lose your mind. Because isn't that the only disclaim out the wazoo when it comes to manifesting more spirituality? It's okay, manifest more spirituality, but don't go crazy. Don't lose your freaking mind. And sometimes there in the first 8, 9, 10 chapters of A Course in Miracles, I was like, oh my God, I might actually go crazy. This, do not smoke weed and read the Course in Miracles. I might actually lose my mind by reading this. But now that I'm on to chapter 16, almost to the end of it, I'm feeling differently about it. I've gotten myself more grounded, and now I can bring in even more spirit. So I would say if you want to manifest more spirituality, you definitely want to be as grounded as you can become. If I have a really spiritual day and I'm reading cards and I'm bringing in messages and I'm getting lightheaded, I literally have to go eat some potatoes. I know, it's so funny, but sometimes I need to eat potatoes. I need to go outside. I need to be in nature and ground myself back into the earth, because I'm fucking spinning. All right, so spirit awakens. It can awaken differently in everybody, although there are a lot of similarities to people's awakening journeys. I mean, if you talk about them, people are like, "Whoa, that happened to me too." So let's just go to our next card and say, spirituality is for everyone. Everyone on Earth, everyone in the whole universe. Oh yeah, we're going to have to go galactic today. You just cannot keep spirituality on Earth without limiting yourself. And if you keep spirituality on Earth, you may have invited your ego to your spiritual party, right? The ego wants to be involved, sure, to probably keep you from enlightenment, but nonetheless. But it's like, if you think that only Earth exists, you're probably just being religious, man-made religion, not actually opening yourself up to universal spirituality. So see what I mean? Spirituality gets a little hard to define. So this is the Cosmic Deck of Initiation by Barbara M. DeLong. I found this little deck at a bookstore for like $5 on clearance, and it's awesome. The Cosmic Deck of Initiation. She got it printed through US Games. And so what I'm looking at here is a mandala. It's a circle. It's a circular deck. So this is a circle card. And I have it in the center with all the other cards today spinning around it. And if my desk was bigger and I had more spirituality cards, you could continually add on. So I would define spirituality as expansion, extension, ever growing, ever knowing, no limits, unlimited, limitless, infinite spirituality, universal spirituality. In her little guidebook, she says, you are more aware of the intensity of the spirit within. Spiritual concepts come to the fore of reality. Greater focus on the spiritual gives greater perception within reality. The spirit within seeks greater manifestation in reality. A new level of spirit comes into consciousness. The spirit opens the heart to greater intensity. Yeah, so it's like, as you ask for more spirituality in your life, it will be given. It will be given to you, whatever it is that you ask for. So asking for more spirituality is a fantastic intention, a fantastic manifestation. And it's like, what you put your attention on grows. So that's why your synchronicities come at you more and more. That's why you discover more avenues for you to explore and learn on your soul path. Whatever you need will be given to you once you kind of get into alignment and more aware of the intensity of your spirit within. Once you start to nurture that, pay attention to that, like you're not just paying attention to your body, you're not just paying attention to your mind, you are creating space for your spirit. Once you become more aware of the intensity of your spirit within, then things like the spiritual laws, you come across that. You might come across a new book. You might come across a new meditation. You might come across a new understanding within yourself. You have created space for it. Greater focus on the spiritual will give greater perception within reality. So now that you're manifesting more spirituality, now you have more clarity within all aspects of your life. It changes you. It awakens you. So being a spiritual being on earth, you are different than the sleepwalker human, the human that is not awake yet to his spirit. And it gives you greater insight and more clarity, and certainly a whole different perspective. The spirit within you seeks greater manifestation in reality. So that's what spirit wants. It wants to be here. It wants to create here, co-create, manifest. Your spirit within wants you to embody spirit. That's what your corpse is for. Your body is nothing more than a corpse right here, right now. The only reason that it seems anything more than that is because your spirit inhabits it. Your spirit enlivens it. So the more you can embody spirit, the more alive you will be. The spirit within seeks greater manifestation in reality. Spirit wants to be involved within every aspect of your life. A new level of spirit comes into consciousness. So yeah, that's your spirituality, being more conscious of it, leveling up, right? A new level. You're like, oh my God, I thought I was woke and I just woke up more. You're constantly climbing the ladder of ascension. You're constantly leveling up to something more and greater. The spirit opens the heart to greater intensity. And then, yeah, what's the reward for all this? Your heart opens up more. You feel more. You know more. You are more. You are more. Anyways, there's some good reasons to manifest more spirituality. All right, so I'm sitting here looking at the cards, thinking which direction. We've got Ganesha, we've got galactic cards, we've got a dragon butterfly. And I'm like, oh, I love the spiritual commitment and technology and sovereignty cards that we're going to talk about from the Galactic Heritage deck. But before I can probably get you to entertain the idea of your galactic heritage, maybe I should start with Ganesha, because if I can get you to accept an elephant-headed Hindu deity, then the blue avians should be able to come into your reality, and the Esasani and the little grays who lost sight of their spirituality completely and their emotional realm. And, you know, it's just funny because it's like, maybe we should start off with a dragon butterfly. Okay, we'll start off with a dragon butterfly, okay? Then we'll go into the elephant-headed deity, and then we'll go to the Vega star system. Yeah, what can I get you to entertain? I think that's a good way to look at things. If anything seems so far-fetched, but yet you kind of feel like there might be a benefit to at least entertain it, at least entertain the ideas. And I'll tell you what, I'll take my messages from anyone. There was a point in my life where I was entertaining Jesus. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I believe in you, but I'll entertain you. I'll entertain you for a little bit. So I'm really open to entertaining a lot of things. I entertain Rumi all the time. I love him. I wasn't even sure who he was when I first started reading some of his poetry, but I love entertaining that. I entertain Native American shamanic medicine. I entertain the dream time. I entertain a lot of things that all collectively add to my spirituality. Am I a dreamtime shaman? No. Have I learned a lot from entertaining it? Yes. Am I a devout Course in Miracles student? No. Have I gained a lot from entertaining that book on my spiritual journey? Yes. So it gets really hard to define what spirituality means to you when you encompass so many different avenues, and when you start to see how you can benefit from really having an open mind, an open heart, and then feeling for what resonates with your spirit within. So let's go up to the top right here of our spiritual blob of cards. So this is a big old blob. Like, what shape is that layout? It's a spiritual blob. And we have a Chinese peacock butterfly. It's gorgeous. Chinese peacock butterfly on a cherry blossom stem branch in bloom. The cherry blossom is a widely celebrated flower. Wow, that's a tongue twister. The cherry blossom is a widely celebrated flower. There's quite a few L's in there. With festivals occurring almost anywhere the trees bloom. In Japan, people watch the progression of the blossoms on the news along with the weather. The cherry blossom is so ingrained in Japanese culture that it makes appearances in all forms of including manga, anime, paintings, and business logos. It has also been used as a rallying symbol for the public and military. Cherry blossom festivals are hosted in Vancouver, Denmark, Jinhae, and Amsterdam. The festival in Washington, D.C. is a month-long event that attracts people from all over the world. And I had never even heard about it. The cherry tree blooms en masse. En masse, I don't know, French. Apparently I've never had any lifetimes in France because I can't read a French word to save my life. And the blooms die this way as well. Okay, so I guess like it's all, en masse means like it's all in bloom, and then bam, it's all dead. Just as quick, or just complete, I'm guessing. Thus, they often symbolize the fragility of mortal life. Yeah, that is what it means then. So yeah, it's like, ooh, blooming, beautiful, life, death. This card calls you to contemplate your personal spirituality and how it affects your life and your happiness. Your personal spirituality is more profound than a belief in a god, gods, or religion. It's more profound than all that. It embodies how you connect to others and that which is greater. It informs your sense of meaning and place in the world. Use your heart to decipher what feels true for you. Spirituality is the soil in which you grow. It nurtures, sustains, and connects you to everything within and beyond the mundane. Understanding your personal spirituality and belief will bring you a greater knowledge of who you are. But Rumi is so loud right now. He's saying, but don't you dare try to say you understand everything. Because the moment you try to understand it, that's your ego trying to understand it. It is better to say that you know nothing. It is better to say you understand nothing and stay in the heart and stay in the purity and the innocence, in the openness. If you want to understand spirituality, warning, that's probably your ego. It's best for us to say we don't know anything. We don't understand any of this. And that's okay. And that's okay. So, anyways, okay. All right. And that's true, because it's like the Course in Miracle says that too. It's like we try to understand, but actually that's our egos trying to stay in control. And if we do want to end ego illusion and really understand truth, if that's your spirituality, then you have to always know that you don't know everything, and you cannot understand. You cannot understand Source. You cannot understand God. You cannot understand. You can have the experience, but then try to put that into words. You can't. How can you describe meditation? How can you describe connectedness, bliss? How can you describe some really profound experiences you have? You can't. And if you do try to, then you're lowering it down to the ego's realm. You can't really explain spirituality. But you can have it for yourself. You can use your heart to decipher what is feeling true for you or not. You can allow spirituality, whatever the fuck it is, to nurture you, to be the soil in which you grow, to sustain you, to connect you to everything. Like, some people read the Bible, but then they're just in their heads. They're not having a real experience. They're only thinking about it. They're not using their hearts at all. They're not getting any closer to God just by reading words and thinking about them. I would say spirituality is definitely an experience, a way of being, a way of existing, more than any belief could get you. So anyways, these are questions and things for you to think about. What is my spirituality? What do I know to be true for me? What is my spirituality? I'm not sure. What do I know to be true for me? I don't know. And guess what? From that place, you could literally be the most spiritual person. But we like to take it farther than that. And we like to take it farther than that. So we will. So this makes me want to shoot up into the other corner, if there is one in this blob, with Melchizedek and spiritual law of attraction. Because if it wasn't for my mind or thinking or belief systems, or recognizing that I held a lot of belief systems that weren't serving me and my life sucked and I wanted my life to get better, I maybe wouldn't have become such a spiritual person. So through thinking about the spiritual laws of the universe, and remember, a lot of them, we would read them and be like, that don't even make no sense, whatever, right? Like, we made fun of some of them. But it opened up a lot of doors for spirit to come in. It kind of maybe cleared the path, or got us primed to embody more of ourselves as source energy beings. So in a lot of ways, it's like I'm seeing massaging kale in a bowl. Like, when you massage kale, okay, weirdo. When you massage kale for a salad with oil, you soften it up. So it's like as if like kale is our ego or whatever. Like, we had to kind of massage it with like just entertaining some spiritual concepts and entertaining the spiritual laws of the universe. And one of them was the law of attraction, but that was only one of them. And as we massaged our egos, which is apparently kale in a salad bowl for me today, we softened it up and it was easier to digest. And we kind of lovingly and so cleverly got our egos to kind of step aside a little bit, or get distracted, and then bam, then we really let spirit in. So I don't condemn thinking or exploring anything because I see the benefit in it in my own journey. I see the benefit in even reading something that I'm going to make fun of. Like I literally let my ego shred it and I roast it, right? Some of those laws we roasted. And so it's like when my kids make fun of me, like they're roasting me and making fun of me and talking to crystals, but like a Saturday Night Live skit, like they're making fun of me. I let them, because I know in that roasting, they're softening. It's like you can make fun of me, but even in that I'm introducing a spiritual concept to you. And so I see the benefit in all angles, in all directions. And so that's why it's so hard for me sometimes to really define what my spiritual journey has looked like, because it's like a bunch of squiggly lines all over the damn place. So let's go up to Melchizedek with the spiritual law of attraction. And yeah, if you just never caught on to Ho until recently, and you feel like you want to go back, like binge on a weekend or start adding some of the old podcasts in, if I have to take next week off because I manifested sickness, which I hope I am not, but I did start taking echinacea just in case. I know I sound very sultry today, don't I? Yeah, I'm a dry girl today. Anyways, if you get an opportunity to go back, or you want to follow along on my YouTube channel, as I'm posting 5 a day though. That's actually a lot. Not many people have 5 extra hours to listen to old podcasts. But if you do, because you can whistle while you work, you can listen while you work, or whatever. Starting about episode 25, I think that's when I decided, for whatever reason, I can't even remember, to start reading the laws of the universe. And up until last year, I really only thought about the law of attraction because of the movie The Secret, because of Abraham Hicks. Holy crap, Abraham Hicks, how did I not even think of them until then? They're such a huge chunk of my spirituality. It ain't even funny. Like, literally, I could have just stopped with Abraham Hicks. Like, that could have been my one and only. But Spirit knew that I couldn't join a cult, and I couldn't I couldn't just have one thing define my spiritual journey. So it led me to Bashar. It led me to Cryon. It led me to all these channelings. It led me to the laws of the universe. It led me to Rumi. It led me to Jesus. I know, it's weird. It's weird how that works. So anyways, and that was weird for me. Like, I went all galactic, and then even in the galactic sector, they honor the office of Christ. Like, there's really no way to get away from Jesus. I just want to let you know that. So Melchizedek, who's that dude? He was a Canaanite priest king and a teacher of the patriarch Abraham. He's associated with Archangel Michael and Jesus. See, you can't get away from Archangel Michael either. Like, once you connect with that energy, congratulations, he'll always show up all over the damn place. Same with Jesus. So anyways, Melchizedek is reputed to be Noah's descendant and a great spiritual master of alchemy and sacred geometry. Sacred geometry, that's a huge chunk of my spirituality. Numbers. Seriously, guys, that's why it's so hard to define what spirituality is. And that's why it's so important that if you do want to egoically define it, make sure you're only defining it for yourself and not anybody else. And don't let anybody else define it for you. But you can call upon Melchizedek. So it says sacred geometry is the building blocks of matter. And you can call upon Melchizedek for helping and mastering manifestation and to understand esoteric wisdom. So there's even some things in the esoteric realm like that I still feel like I want to do, even if it matters or not. Haha, making sacred geometry jokes. I still want to learn more about sacred geometry. I still want to actually read the Emerald Tablets. I know, just for fun. Like, there's still some things that, like, I know that while I'm here on earth, I still want to do. Even if the Course in Miracles ruins it all for me because it connects me directly to God. Even if it connects me to God and my whole earthly existence is then ruined. It's so funny. There's still some things I want to do. I like making jokes like that because, like, we'll get a card that says, like, eternal bliss or, you know, connection with all that is, and I'll be like, oh, sorry guys, all we got is eternal bliss. I'm sorry, all we got is connected to source. Like, sorry about your luck. That's all you get. All right, so anyways, the spiritual law of attraction may be one of your awakenings, may be something that wakes you up to being like, oh my gosh, I am more than just a mind and a body. And I can actually use my mind to create in this physical world. It's like, bam. A lot of times it's from an egoic place of wanting a new car or whatever you want. But it's like, that's spirit getting its foot in the door. So that's what I'm saying. Whatever you're called to, look into it. Because it probably is part of your spiritual journey. Absolutely. If you're attracted to certain things or people, look into it. So this card from the Ascended Masters deck from Doreen Virtue is all about the law of attraction, the spiritual law of attraction, and you've attracted certain people or certain situations because they mirror your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. In the same way, people and situations that you once found desirable are now moving out of your life as you've shifted your energy through your spiritual path. So that makes me laugh because sometimes it's like, I see like, oh my gosh, I got spiritual and then I lost all my friends. But actually, it's because we didn't jive anymore. And as you raise your frequency and you manifest more spirituality, don't feel bad if people float out. New people and things are going to float in. Like attracts like means that everything and everyone that you draw into your life is similar to your thought patterns. If you want to change what or who you attract, hold more positive, loving, and joyful thoughts. The Ascended Masters and Angels can help you with this shift. And Bashar, I told you like a month ago, like I came across an old video of his and it was so cool. He talked about the law of attraction, but he said you can't talk about, and that's through Daryl Anka, Bashar. He said you can't talk about the law of attraction without talking about the law of repulsion. It's like sometimes it's like a magnet that pushes its, away too. It's like he was saying that if the law of attraction, here's what I took away from it. If the law of attraction is not working for you, it's because you haven't utilized the law of repulsion. He was saying that we hold on to people, situations, and ideas that actually don't want to be with us. We are not a vibrational match, but yet we hold on to it, and then we can't attract what we want. We don't have this space. Shout out to our Herb of the Week, Raspberry. So the law of repulsion, as we let things that are not a match to us go away, then we have the space to attract that which we are likened to. So anyways, if you are interested in the spiritual laws of the universe, there are quite a few for you to entertain. So there's definitely a part of me that's always interested in, like, does this spiritual stuff work? Right? So that was my big thing with the spiritual laws, and I still like to see how I can utilize energy. I mean, isn't that why all my green witches like being witchy? Like, see if you can utilize energy, see if you can cast a spell. That's metaphysical. Witches are basically just metaphysicians using the laws of the universe, whether they've studied them or not. And everybody can do this. So if you want to heal situations in your life, elevate your thoughts to a more positive level. That's what the spiritual law of attraction is basically about. Your prayers, your affirmations, your intentions have attracted what you've got. So let them attract wonderful things to you. As you become more spiritual and the spirit awakens within you, you're going to attract more, quote, spiritual things. People who resonate, people that you can learn from, people that you may have a spiritual connection with. So it's really important to only think about what we want and what we want to manifest, because, honey, you are a creator. And that's why, like, all the time I'm like, stop focusing on fear, stop focusing on bullshit, stop focusing on that asshole, because you're manifesting what you think about, what you feel about, what you focus on. So anyways, just a little clean up your act if you haven't already. Now, let's go to this card that I debated about putting in. It's from The Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield, and it's spiritual connection. So yeah, we attract people that, with the spiritual law of attraction, we attract birds of the same feather. And if you attract people who, sometimes it's like when you're doing your healing work, you attract problems and you attract people that also are having problems in doing their healing work, because that's just what you've attracted. Also, when you get more spiritual, I feel like the universe sends you people that you have soul agreements with, or that you've shared lifetimes with. Perhaps you could say they're in your soul family or your collective. Like, yes, I think the grand theme of spirituality is that we are all one God, one source, one all that is, one infinite energy. However, within that, within the whole is the sum of its parts, and we have collectives, we have families, we have arrangements, we have spiritual connections. And so this card is a fantastic picture, and it's basically illustrating how two minds can be connected. So as we join our minds together, I feel like that is a big part of spirituality for me, and you too, maybe, because you're like, why do I feel so connected to this bitch? I'll just try to keep it light. Anyways, when we join minds, that's when we join our power. That's when we can really create. That's when we can really manifest. That's when we can really connect. When we join our hearts, when we join our spirits, our souls, in a sense, we probably already are connected. But this picture, it's like she's up there, he's down there. There's like this windy path off a steep cliff, and the path is connecting their minds together. And so they've had lots of maybe incarnations together or connections. And it says, as my ex-husband literally just texts me, this relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. And that's funny that he just texted me. I don't know what he needs, but many, many times in our relationship, I was like, we must have such a huge contract that we agreed to find each other in this life and literally cause hell for each other. But that's maybe what we needed to awaken. So it's like the people in your life, you kind of got to understand that you have a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Everything happens for a reason. Know that some of the people that come into our life are there just to help teach us a lesson and make a real impact on our life. Whether this is a love, soulmate relationship, or relationship for growth, it is important to you in this lifetime. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to entertain that concept. And then of course, I'm reading the Course in Miracles that's saying really there is no special relationship. And so anyways, it's crazy how our spirituality can expand and contract and blow up and come back together and make total sense and then make no sense. And it's like, why can't I shake this person? Well, maybe there's a lesson there. Or why did this person come into my life to show you something, to teach you something? Maybe it was a soul agreement. Why did this person break my heart? Maybe in order to open it. It's hard to say. But anyways, it's definitely easy to say that we've got connections that go beyond this lifetime. All right, had to take a little break there and eat something. I'm up to like 3 quarts of marshmallow root water. And I've only peed once. Like, are my kidneys going to explode? Am I going to die? So speaking of dying, and I think that's like what coronavirus has made everybody self-reflect on, whether they realize it or not. Everyone's afraid to die. Like, really. And even me. Like, I don't think I am, but then I'll have moments where I'm like, oh wait, like I actually am gonna leave this body, and it freaks me out a little bit sometimes. And then that's like, well, that means you're overly identifying with your body, and you know, you need to connect with spirit more. But sometimes connecting with spirit kind of freaks me out. I'll just be the one to say it. This will be our part of our Manifest More Spirituality conversation, where like I do take it far, you know, with all things that I do. And so sometimes when I really try to encompass the understanding of what it will be like to return to spirit or return to God, or that's overwhelming for me. Like sometimes spirituality can be very overwhelming like that. Like one time, Bashar was talking about, I found this recording. It was just a recording off of something. But anyways, he was saying, like, we have incarnation after incarnation as we make our way up the dimensions, and then eventually we return and merge with Source. And I was like just freaking mind blown, and like that feeling that you get like when you got too high, you know? Like it just was like, there are some parts of spirituality that it's like, yeah, we're down here, we're feeling our heart space and all connected and doing yoga. But like, sometimes I take it into like directions where I find it overwhelming when I try to really understand things. And of course, maybe I'm not supposed to understand. Maybe that's the point. But like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and then it kind of goes to like what the Course in Miracles says, that like people are afraid of God. Like our egos, knowing that it will be their end when we quote die, even though we don't end, our spirit continues on. Our egos like get us afraid of Source, afraid of God, afraid of spirituality. And then it's like it can really, we can really be, I'm just seeing belief systems getting busted and blown up. That's what I'm seeing in my mind right now. But it's like, yeah, we kind of have ourselves freaked out, and then we become afraid of unconditional love and spirit and source. And that's why some people in their egos are like, oh, no, 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 I'm not a spiritual person. Like, they just don't want to go there. Their egos don't want them to go there, because then they'll find truth and they'll realize that the ego shit is an illusion. And like, anyways, we could go deep, man. We could go deep. Or I could just talk to you about how many quarts of marshmallow root water I've drank, and now I feel like I'm going to probably, I assume, get the diarrhea at some point. Like, don't fart or you're going to shit yourself. Anyways, I'm so spiritual. So my ex-husband was just messaging me to see if I had Facebook. He says, have the Facebook? Do you have the Facebook? And I said, nope. And then I said, have the Facebook sounds like an infection, LOL. And that's what got me thinking about death. And he said, that's exactly what it is. Just wanted to check, want to delete my account. And then I sent him an animated GIF that says, you are trapped. Because our daughter loves her Facebook Messenger for kids. Like, that's how she talks to our friends. So he can't delete his Facebook because of our Sagittarius. And he says, I know, sad face. Haha, I deleted it first. I got rid of the Facebook first. Do you have the Facebook? It is an infection. Do you have it? You might want to think about getting rid of it. All right, where are we at now? I have 3 guidebooks left to me. That means we have 14 more hours left to this podcast. Manifest more spirituality. So, we've been talking a lot about galactic things already, and we have Ganesha. And then we'll end with the spirit card from the Sacred Stones, which is a channeled message from Blue Star and Council of Light. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we can sit here and do our affirmations. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am light. And we can be like, talk about our light bodies. But like, did you ever really think about that? And it almost be like too much for your human to digest? Like, what does that actually mean? What is that actually going to look like when we have a light body, when we are non-physical, when we are just spirit, right? Just spirit. What's that gonna look like? See, that's the spiritual moments that I have a tendency to take too far and freak myself out. Now, with that said, I want to tell you about something that happened to me when I was 16. I actually saw a light body, or an extraterrestrial, or an alien, or a ghost. I don't know, but it was a lighted man, and like a form. It looked like the human form, but it was made of blue light. And that really got me thinking at that point. Well, it got me thinking that night that I needed to go get drunk. I won't lie. But it got me thinking definitely early on in my existence here of like different realms, or the unseen, or the seen but not quite physical, you know. And it's like, even if you dabble in things like ghosts and stuff like that, which didn't really occur to me, or mediumship and talking to people who have crossed over, like, that really puts another element to your spirituality, doesn't it? And it really is kind of confirming that, yes, there is much more to this than we realize. Absolutely. So I think we'll go galactic, then we'll take it back down kind of more to earth with Ganesha, and then we'll finish. Does that sound good? It could get loud here because I know my kids have to get up, and I've been talking extra slow because I keep wanting to drink my fluids. All right, the Galactic Heritage card. A lot of people might drop off at this point, and that's fine, because it is a long podcast, and we are going into a realm that you might think that you are uncomfortable with. But if you are uncomfortable with it, ask yourself why. Why does it make you uncomfortable to think about other planets that inhabit life? What is it that you can't comprehend that there are other dimensions? Like, try to think like, well, why am I so closed-minded to thinking that like humans are the only creatures of the universe? Anyways, even if you don't think you want to go galactic in your spiritual journey, eventually you will. Just like even if you don't think you want Jesus in your life, eventually you're going to get him. Like, it's just one of those things. I don't know. It's bound to happen. In my experience, you cannot get away from extraterrestrials, and you cannot get away from Jesus. That's just the way it is. So we've got spiritual commitment, spiritual technology, and spiritual sovereignty. So we are going to do these in order of the numbers, number 23, 72, and 103. We're going to do 2 Vega cards, V-E-G-A. We're going to do a present card, a future card, and then our third card from the Galactic Heritage deck by Lissa Royal Holt will be from the Essassani, which is a parallel card. So if your mind wasn't blown yet, have you thought about parallel realities? Have you thought about string theory? Have you thought about the fact that like you probably have other versions of yourself? Like, have you thought about other incarnations? Have you thought about how your spirit might actually be incarnating more than one human body? I mean, spirituality can take you in some pretty interesting directions. And like I said, you don't have to own any of it. You can entertain all of it and own none of it. Like, probably, in my opinion, the most spiritual person goes everywhere and entertains everything, and yet at the end of the day understands that they know nothing. And, all they can do is try to feel in their heart what is right for them, or just not even judge what is right and wrong and correct and incorrect, but just be. At the end of the day, feel into your heart space and just be. Just be your spirit. Be like, I don't know, man, there's a lot of things we could think about and talk about, but I'm just going to be. And that probably is as close to enlightenment as we could get in our spiritual journey, spirituality, is understand that like we probably already are enlightened because we already are spirit, and we're just having the experience of remembering that, or rediscovering that, or going back to that, back home to that. So yeah, that's one of the sweetest things I've ever read. Like, as far as spiritual journeys and different spiritualities, like, we're all on different paths, but yet we are all walking each other home. So anyways, let's see what the Galactic Heritage cards have to say. We'll see if I can read all of it. It's a lot. This is a real book, you guys, like a big book that you get with this big deck. There's 108 cards in the deck. And this is a card about spiritual technology. The ancient, it looks like vegan, but I think it's pronounced vegan. So I'm going to say vegan. The ancient vegan mystics became quite adept at creating spiritual technology. So now in our conversation of how to manifest more spirituality, we're actually going to bring in what is called spiritual technology. This refers to using tools such as crystals, wands, geometry, and so on. So all our spiritual woo-woo stuff, our spiritual tools, our spiritual technology to enhance the spiritual experiences or perform a function. such as, my stomach's growling, such as cleaning the energy in a home or healing a person. Originally, these tools were meant to be an enhancement of spiritual practices. But over time, the vegans became dependent on them and forgot that the power was not in the objects. This was a profound lesson for them. Examine how you use spiritual tools now. Do you depend on them more than your own inner power? So this is a good topic when you're manifesting more spirituality, because it's like if you get into consumerism spirituality, you're going to think that you need 100 different crystals and you need a yoga mat and you need all the books and you need all the cards. And this is a lesson that I have to remind myself all the time. I don't need the cards to get messages. I could literally just sit here and know that I have the inner power to do that. I have my own guidance system within, even if I don't own a tarot deck. You don't need the crystals. You don't need anything. And sometimes even in herbalism, I come to that realization that we don't even need the plants. Once they teach us the lesson and teach us how to heal ourselves, we always had that power. I'm going to go take echinacea because I believe that I need it, but I don't actually need it. I have my own inner power to talk to my body and command my body. So anyways, just something to think about. It's like I love spiritual technologies. I love rocks. I love crystals. I love cards. I love geometry. I would have a wand if sure. But I don't need it, and neither do you. So they became dependent on it, and that was a big, profound lesson for them. So I'm going to read the extended version because I can feel that you're into this. In a middle development era of the Vega civilizations, a branch of spiritual science began to focus on spiritual technology. What is spiritual technology? It is technology that assists spiritual development. It can range from external tools such as crystals, wands, frequency generators, healing tools, and more. It can also include meditation techniques that have elaborate processes or steps that seem as if they provide a shortcut to a desired goal, but can often instead lead the practitioner along a path of distraction. All tools are neutral and can be used in a balanced way, an addictive way, or a way that controls others. This era in the Vega civilizations was a challenging one, and it connects to the era on Earth in present day, where many are looking for spiritual shortcuts instead of doing the real deep inner work necessary for spiritual transcendence. So if this card appears in your reading, it could mean different things depending on the surrounding cards, your life circumstances, and past karma. Perhaps it may imply that you are becoming too addicted to spiritual technology and need to look at your inner self as a source of evolution. Or perhaps the opposite is true. Perhaps you can benefit from investigating spiritual technology in a balanced way. It could also be pointing to past lives in Vega or Atlantis in which you dealt with the misuse of technology. Go within and examine what this card means in the context in your life. So essentially, spiritual technology is for the purpose of connecting with source energy. But yeah, you don't want to become overly dependent on it. You don't want to use it in a negative way or to control others. You want, if you do use it in a balanced way. So anyways, moving on, because I feel like I'm running out of time here. Our next spiritual card for our Manifest More Spirituality is Spiritual Commitment. This is also a Vega card from the future. In modern times, very often we only make a spiritual commitment when we are in pain. When the pain goes away, we become busy with the distractions of life and no longer remember our commitment. So just going to pause there. Yeah, it's true. Like, oh man, my life sucks. So I've come over to the spiritual side of things, but once it gets better, then I go back to forgetting my spiritual practice, my spiritual commitment. Oh, back in pain. I guess I'll go read my book again now, or meditate, or do my healing work. Oh, distracted again. We go back and forth. And then we wonder why we keep on manifesting more painful situations, is to get us back to our spiritual commitment. So just make a commitment right now. And I think if you've hung out with me, like especially in the long run, you are like me and are very committed to your spirituality, to your spiritual journey. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Vegans never lost their spiritual commitments and wove them into their everyday lives in so many enriching ways. This card asks you to look honestly at your spiritual commitments. How can you strengthen them no matter whether you are feeling pain or joy? Go deep within and find the longing to be one with the universe. Remember that longing, and your commitment can begin there. So we all have a thirst, a longing, a hunger, a desire to be one with the universe. We all want connectedness. Like in a lot of like psychology things, it's like that sense of belonging, right? Well, it's not just like in our communities, in our daily lives. There's a part of your soul that longs for home, that longs to be one with the universe, that wants to go back to God. So anyways, that longing, that feeling, when you feel it, that's where your commitment can begin. So the text for this card acknowledges the immense self-discipline of the Vegan mystics of ancient times. Through their dedication and spiritual practices, they gave many gifts to their descendants, including the mystical schools of earth. This card points to the truth that spiritual evolution cannot take place without a commitment. This may be a commitment to a specific practice, such as yoga or meditation, or it may mean a commitment to becoming the clearest, most balanced human being you can become, and taking the actions needed to do so. So yeah, it's like you can make commitments to undo your negative belief systems. You can make a commitment to every day reflecting and being the highest, goodest, bestest version of yourself, right? Your spiritual commitment can look like many different things. Definitely stay focused and committed on your spiritual path, even when it's not convenient or enjoyable to do so. There are times when growth is the most pronounced. Sometimes people don't know what kind of practice to commit to. Knowing that the type of practice is less important than simply making the commitment, as long as the practice isn't a comfortable distraction instead of an authentic path, that helps you see yourself clearly. Taking this time to connect with your inner self through whatever practice suits you is one of the most important gifts you can give to yourself and your planet. So yeah, commit. So that, I'm sorry guys, but that's just the perfect promo for A Course in Miracles. 365 daily lessons with me in 2021. It's easy but not always enjoyable, but it will add to your spiritual growth so much. I guarantee it, or your money back. I'll be posting them for free on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you can have all your nothing back if you don't gain from it. But it's like, commit to it. Just commit to sticking with like maybe even like a 30-day practice. Lisa Transcendence Brown has a 30-day remembering thing that I did one time. And sometimes it's just good to commit to something for a month or commit to 44 days of something else. I did shadow clearing work for 44 days. Like, that wasn't fun at all. I hated that journaling. I hated it, but it was really good for me. Yeah, committing to this podcast 5 days a week. Yeah, there's some days that I don't know if I like it or not, but I do it and I always grow from it. So anyways, commit to your spiritual practice today. Make a commitment today to stick with it. And then definitely consider doing the lessons with me in 2021. Yeah, you might as well just sign up to the idea because I'll be talking about it anyways here at Ho when I do the lessons next year, because they kind of hijack your life in a way. So yeah, I'll probably work them in, or at least talk about my experience with them. There'll be no avoiding it. So, but it's up to you. It is a required course, but it's up to you how long you'd like to delay it. Now, the last card with the Galactic Heritage deck is the Essassani, which I think that is what Bashar is, Essassani. If you've never checked out Daryl Anka, you should do so, just so you know who the hell Bashar is. Essassani, Spiritual Sovereignty. This is a parallel card, but I love that term, spiritual sovereignty. I love the word sovereignty. I love the word spiritual. We're manifesting more spirituality today. Spiritual sovereignty is a place of complete balance. One walks in integrity, has completed unfinished business, confronted and owned the shadow, recognizes illusion, and knows the self intimately without judgment. From here, the person becomes free to feel the flow of the universe that is called synchronicity. This is an essential Essassani teaching. Once you are firmly rooted in an open-hearted life based on integrity and synchronicity, you become a fully realized being. This is a roadmap to awakening for individuals and Earth as a whole. If you haven't already, it is time to begin the journey. So yeah, that is self-realization, self-actualization, enlightenment, the best we can fucking do here on Earth. Walking in integrity. Completing unfinished business. Tying up those karmic loose ends, have you? Confronting and owning and integrating the shadow. Recognizing illusion. Recognizing your ego illusions. Finding the balance. Knowing yourself intimately without judgment. From there, we are truly living a spiritual existence. The Essassani species is a hybrid of human and Zeta, and is a highly evolved species assisting Earth through its transition. Deep within the Essassani collective memory, which is funny to me because they say they have no memory. They just know what they need to know when they need to know it because they have access to infinite intelligence. But nonetheless, in the Essassani collective memory lie the healed lessons of the Zeta, Orion, and human species. Because these lessons were fully integrated, the outcome is a species of pristine consciousness, capable of non-polarized thought, and a catalyzing energy that propels others forward into their own processes of integration. The concept of spiritual sovereignty is described really well above by a place of complete balance and all that, but it is often a difficult concept for the mind to grasp. The human tendency is to think that something out there will bring us liberation or awakening, right? Like a meditation, a specific meditation process, having the right guru, listening to this podcast. It's out there, right? But unless we clearly see the false self and refuse to live as that illusion, true spiritual freedom will elude us. So the Essassani have broken through all illusion and achieved their spiritual sovereignty, and this potential is possible for humans as well. So this card is acknowledging your potential to do this. This is a message of gentle encouragement to continue forward and do what is necessary to awaken beyond illusion. Conversely, this card may instead be a warning that your current path might not be leading you toward sovereignty, but toward further illusion. So you really have to check your ass. Be really truthful with yourself. Go deep within and open yourself to seeing what you need to see for your highest good. And if you need assistance, call on the Essassani energy to guide you. And I'm pretty sure that is a lighted blue triangle. So if you want to meditate with like a triangle shape that's got like a blue light around it, beaming from the cosmos, you can call on Essassani energy to help you understand spiritual sovereignty, help you be clear and honest with yourself. Sometimes Bashar comes off as really harsh in his when he comes through Daryl in the channelings, but he just wants people to be honest. Like, what do you really mean? How are you really feeling? Say what you mean and mean what you say. Things like that. So it certainly is a good energy to tap into for your spiritual practice and on your spiritual quest. All right, I guess now we're going to do the elephant-headed deity, Ganesha, Whispers of Lord Ganesha. He's got card number 19, Spiritual Practice, and number 40, Spiritual Quest. So I think he'll help us with some ways, with some spiritual tools and practices to manifest more spirituality in your life on the daily. Make a commitment. That's huge, you guys. I mean, that's why I continue to show up. I've been showing up for years, in my own life, and then the last couple years publicly, because I realized how important it is for everyone to be awoken or awakened. Wake up. Like, wake up. You are a spiritual being, and it's time to connect with that. It's super important. Now, I think one of my main motivations is like for the planet, it's super important because once people wake up to their spiritual selves, they're more likely, I would say 100% likely, to take care of the planet, because then they start to see her as a consciousness and they see her as something that we need to cherish. They're more awake, aware. I really feel like people need to take care of this planet. And I'm thinking, well, what can I do to help people wake up, to do that? And then, of course, it became much bigger than that, for me and my life. But anyways, make a commitment, show up. Ganesha says a spiritual practice to manifest more spirituality will help ground your day. It may trigger observations that lead to life-changing breakthroughs and ideas. So yeah, these things can help people heal their hearts, can help people become more whole and complete, can help people become connected to Source, can help people take care of each other. Manifesting more spirituality is important on so many levels, every level. There are many ways to maintain a spiritual connection through a committed practice. Ganesha is asking you to reflect on the benefits that may be gained by following a specific daily routine for your spirituality. This might include prayer, meditation, or an exercise schedule that connects the body, mind, and spirit, such as yoga or Tai Chi. Additionally, consider burning incense, which is often used to accompany prayers, invocations, and spells in many cultures. As the incense smoke rises up to the heavens, it is said to represent the requests reaching their destiny and meeting with approval from the divine. Incense is also believed to have properties that dispel negative energy. Use incense or burn sage to create a special haven for yourself or to clear a sacred space in preparation for a special occasion or a ceremony. The smell of incense and herbs burning can also bring about a heightened spiritual awareness and realization for the user. So last night in my book from Lynn V. Andrews, she's down in Australia still, they had a ceremony to take them into the dream time, and I'm pretty sure it was a cherry blossom branch that they burnt and literally took them into this other realm. And so that's funny that our dragon butterfly is on a cherry blossom branch, and now we're talking about burning things. I have to burn something every morning and sometimes at night and sometimes in the middle of the day. Like it connects me instantly to an energy. It helps me clear. I love it. I love it as a spiritual tool. I almost didn't today burn anything because it's dry. I don't know if I did yesterday, but today I was like, oh no, I'm gonna sage the air, absolutely. And then I went around and I sprayed in little spritzy bottles. I put essential oils in water to keep the air moist and to clear vibes, and it makes me feel good and gets me in a grounded place. So there are many tools and techniques that you can use throughout your day to preserve or regain tranquility. Even simply taking a deep breath can restore a spiritual connection. Find what works for you and dedicate some time to your practice each day. So yeah, breathing. I think breathing, focusing on the breath, is truly, it is the spiritual practice. It is the connection. That's what you do when you meditate. You focus on your breathing. Your breath is the gift, right? Your breath is the connection. The breath swings you and rocks you back and forth within your heart space. So anyways, yeah, breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, now the other card from Ganesha is spiritual quest. And you know, in the first card, he's sitting like in meditation with incense. And now this one, he's outside and walking. And he says, you are being called to realize your full potential and to choose to become a force for good in the world. So when you do make a spiritual commitment to manifest more spirituality, you become a force for good in the world. I'm sure your spirituality is not like worshiping demons, right? That's not why you're listening to this podcast. Your spirituality and your commitment, one, it's going to help you realize your full potential. It's going to give you an opportunity to become a whole and complete being. Self-actualization, realization, enlightenment. Then you become a force for good in the world. Whether or not you are aware of it, you are embarking on a great spiritual quest. Your soul is leading you to a myriad of discoveries about who you truly are and what you came here to achieve this lifetime. Each of us has a unique journey that is tailored especially for us and designed for us to reach our highest potential. During this quest, you will gain significant insight into your purpose here on earth. For many, this journey will have been preceded by a period of upheaval, confusion, conflict, 2020, which has birthed a desire for greater clarity and concrete answers about the meaning and purpose of your life. Yeah, shout out to this clusterfuck of circumstances in 2020. Has it not awakened so many on a grand level to be like, what the fuck is the point of life? What is the meaning and purpose of my life? So even though it's been crazy, it's been such a catalyst into spirituality for so many. You have to see the blessing in that. And even in our own lives, has it not quickened you? Has it not motivated you? Don't you feel now more than ever you need to up your game? You need to commit as much as you can to your spiritual journey, to your spirituality. From this spiritual journey you're undertaking, you will gain wisdom, enlightenment, and an enhanced sense of your personal power. As you travel on this path, make a point to commit to the quest and not be tempted by distractions that may cause you to veer off track. So yeah, once you commit to the path of light, keep your ass on it. Ganesha urges you to focus your energy less on having and more on simply being. Your spiritual growth can be enhanced by the regular practice of meditation and self-reflection at this time. So yeah, more meditation. I know that needs to get on my agenda in my daily. More meditation. Self-reflection, I feel like we cover that here, don't we? Oh my God. How much more can we self-reflect? Whew. But anyways, how much more could we meditate? Oh, I'm sure much more. How much more could we make everything we do in our life a walking meditation? Oh yeah. I feel the nudge. I feel the suggestion. And I feel I don't want to use the word urgency, but definitely importancy. I don't want to use a word that really exists. I want to use importancy. Is that a word? Who cares? It's really important whether I use the right words or not. It feels really important for us to really step up, commit, stay on the path. Do not be distracted. Do not fall into the illusions. Stay clear, stay focused, stay determined, I guess. Determined in your commitment to maintain your spiritual practices, because that is your life. It is a spiritual life, because that is what you are. You are spirit. You are a source energy being. And it is time to know that completely. All right, this source energy being's lower intestines and colon is growling like, oh my gosh, like I gotta eat some real food, I think. But it feels like a good day to stay fully hydrated and completely waterlogged with the marshmallow. So anyways, sorry for all the gurglings. Hopefully my microphone is not that good. But anyways, let us end this pretty intense podcast. But good. Intense, but good. I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. So yeah, I think that is the thing. Once you really are committed to manifesting more spirituality, everything just is spiritual for you, or it is part of your spiritual journey, or it isn't going to be part of your daily agenda. I mean, that's just like, cut out what doesn't serve you. Is it a distraction or does it serve you? Is there something to be gained here or not? Does this add to my spiritual practice? Does this add to my awareness or not? And usually with the spiritual laws, everything that is not can be naturally repulsed and repelled, and it falls away. But it starts with you saying, yep, today is the day. Today is the day that I really do make a commitment to myself of knowing myself. Because what is spirituality, man? It is knowing thyself. It's knowing who you really, truly are. Yeah, knowing yourself. So anyways, such great cards from great decks. And we're ending with the Sacred Stones. A teeny tiny, the smallest card that I've got here. Spirit. And it is, I wonder what number it is. I'm curious. I have them numbered in the guidebook because I'm a nerd like that. Spirit is number 34. 3 plus 4 equals 7. That's my life path number. So yeah, I mean, you gotta look for all the signs. Your higher self has meticulously orchestrated this existence for you. Yes, we've got free will to an extent. Yes, and yes. But you are not alone in this journey. And it's beautiful and wonderful to connect with more of who you truly are and integrate and become that whole being. All right, I need to cruise here. All right, here we go. Ending our podcast with spirit. There is spirit everywhere, in everything, always. You may not see it or feel it or know what it means, but trust us, you are never alone. Spirit is breath. It is life moving through. It is love. It is pure, unconditional adoration and upholding of you and all that is, no matter how dark the hour. You don't need to trust or believe in spirit. Spirit exists nonetheless and will remain long beyond any doubt or belief anyone or anything has to offer. Nothing needs to be applied, nothing added or released. Spirit cares for it all, over all time and space without discernment. Spirit is an equal opportunity provider. This doesn't mean all your wishes come true. It doesn't mean do not strive for justice. It doesn't mean you get a free ride if you believe hard enough. But neither will you be abandoned if you do not. You are here for many reasons. Spirit guides and supports you, whether you like it or not. Spirit can't stop you from running out into a busy road if that is your choice. But when you die, however, whenever you die, Spirit is always there to take you home. And when you think about going home to all that is, to your source, if that puts a little lump in your throat, that is your soul saying, yes, yes, we all want to go home. And we are all walking each other home. And I am honored and fully full. I am full of the feeling of life when I think about us walking each other home together. And I really do appreciate you on behalf of all humanity in the universe and the universes. I truly do appreciate you taking your commitment up to the next level and manifesting more spirituality.